Hey guys, welcome back into the video. So we're going to be going over the IGN preview where they went hands-on with Sonic Frontiers. So let's take a look at it, shall we? The first thing that struck me out was Sonic Frontiers about how uniquely summer and serene it was from the outset. After flying to a wormhole with Tails and Amy, Sonic finds himself separated from his friends and all alone on an isolated island with nothing but an AI voice guiding him to collect the Chaos Emeralds. There is no one for Sonic to bounce quips off of, no energetic Crush 40 soundtrack, just wide open field as far as the eye can see. There's an air of mystery in Sonic Frontiers. It's a vibe that's driven home even further by the beautiful yet minimalistic piano melodies that accompany Sonic as he explores the island. So we definitely seem to have a little bit kind of a small story synopsis for the game. It gives context about why Sonic is stranded on this island. I guess he was with Tails and Amy when all this happened. So a wormhole. So that's probably how they all ended up separated at the start of the game. And also the AI voice, that definitely confirms the Ghost Girl thing that's been going on in the community for months now because of leaks. So looks like all of it seems all the leaks so far have all been confirmed to be true, which is kind of crazy. So we'll see if the other thing about playable characters is true or not. Anyway, continuing on. All this is very intentional. I asked Azuka to describe how the tone of it differs from the previous games. He said past games in the series have taken different tones depending on their story and themes. This time, however, these islands are the game's major setting. That's why the artists have worked hard to create a mysterious moon. Of course, the big new change is the shift from linear to open world, where Sonic can run freely. But Sonic Team does not like to use the term open world to describe it, instead referring to itself as being open zone. Aha! So, kind of their own play. And also them kind of being very hesitant to say open world is very reminiscent of how 343 did, because that game was also kind of was like a mixture of both its linear style in previous games and while introducing an open world game design. So it seems that kind of same philosophy is here in Sonic Frontiers as well. Anyway, continuing. Open world games like Zelda or other AAA games, they know about the comparisons, fundamentally of RPG or adventure worlds. For Sonic, the core here is a 3D action game. The basic idea was to have that take place in open space. What sets Sonic Frontiers apart is the different approach to the open world. Having played Frontiers about 4 hours, it's easy to see what they mean. Frontiers' open zone design is very different from any other open world I've ever played. It's a giant playground. Every few feet there's a bumper spring that bounces you like a pinball between 5 other bumpers before putting you on one of the many grindable rail tracks or a speed ramp that sets you in a completely different path, leading to some other collectible or reward or a line of rings so you can light speed dash to. Essentially, they've taken that core appeal of every Sonic level, having multiple paths they eventually loop back around the main one, and applied that to these giant non-linear open zones. So obviously they know about the comparisons to other open world games like, Breath of the Wild. So from what this seems like, it seems more like Super Mario Odyssey or Bowser's Fury than Breath of the Wild. So, because in those games, they're essentially just like worlds, but in Bowser's Fury case, it was all connected. Where it gave that vibe where it truly was open world. So I wonder how that's going to be if that's going to be the case here, or is it going to be a more Mario Odyssey, where these zones, are separated, but each of them are so huge and really explorable. Time will tell, so, Anyway, one thing that has to be noted that very few of these elements are built into environmental design, meaning that rails, platforms, boostering, and so on are just floating in the air all around, which isn't totally unusual for a Sonic game, but it feels jarring in Frontiers in particular because of the frequent and sudden popping of these objects and the otherwise very naturalistic art style. The pop-in is very jarring, I'll say that. Of course, it's worth emphasizing that this gameplay and the version I played were from an early build, but this is definitely an area I hope to see an improvement in the final version. I think we all can agree that the pop-in needs to improve, massively, because it's pretty jarring I'll see myself. Anyway, continuing. Beyond that, there are also a wide variety of puzzles and challenges that are littered throughout the zone, and completing them is how you uncover sections of your map. Most of them are very simple, requiring you to orient a statue the correct way, quickly hop back and forth between colored tiles, or use Sonic's new side loop ability to draw circles around certain objects in the environment to interact with them. The best ones, though, are races against the clock where you have to get from point A to point B in a limited amount of time. The openness of Frontiers makes straightforward races like these a ton of fun, because you have to try and improvise a path to the end that might not be immediately obvious. Okay, so I guess that kind of explains the whole seemingly like what we saw in the first gameplay reveal. Like where we saw like, those little tile puzzles, and kind of like how seemingly finishing those revealed more things on the map. So that kind of makes sense. So it seems they're going by, as we complete puzzles in the world, we unlock more things in the world, such as like the grind wheels for example, things like that. So I guess that kind of how it gives off that mystery of exploration. So now that we kind of have a context, it kind of makes it more sense. But anyway, now moving on to the combat. There are some exceptions, but combat in traditional Sonic games generally isn't a thing that goes much deeper than jumping, roller, using a helmet attack at enemies at the right time. That changes in Sonic Frontiers, which now has you find all sorts of wandering enemies and mini-boss and all new rate incredibly flashy. It's not all style and no substance though. Sonic is able to quickly dodge using the bumper buttons on the gamepad, and by pressing them together he can even parry attacks with the right timing. His homing attack also feels much more powerful, landing with a ton of impact and keeping Sonic stuck to his enemy, allowing a flurry of follow-up strikes. So, with the type of combat like that, it seems like give off vibes of like Shadow the Hedgehog, or how Shadow himself played in Sonic 06, so it kind of gave me that vibe of that. So, and it would have, I think it definitely would have fit in Sonic Unleashed too, which kind of ironically, the Warhog part kind of had that similar thing with the flashy attacks and all that, but it's definitely more flashy here. But anyway, continuing. One of the things I really appreciate about the combat from when I play is that there are usually multiple ways to deal with specific enemies. One enemy has an impenetrable shell that he can expand to spinning blades and throw at you. One way to deal with them is just carefully time your homing so you don't get hit, but the window to damage him is small. To increase it, you can either parry the blades and knock them away right before they hit you, or you can use Sonic's side loop to encircle the enemy, which will cause the shell to go flying upwards. Defeating these enemies will reward you with EXP that you can just purchase new skills. Aha! We'll get to that, which gives Sonic Frontiers a really nice feeling power progression, even in just a real short amount of time that I play. Some layer skills you get are just unbelievably freaking cool, though I won't spoil them here, and it's super satisfying to see Sonic Team experiment with different ways that Sonic can attack enemies beyond just spins, jumps, and bumps. Okay, so it seems like, yeah, a skill tree is definitely confirmed. Really curious to see how expansive they go with it. And hopefully, it's not too repetitive, I guess, if that makes sense. So, like, where it doesn't feel fun. So, because they gotta get that fun right. That's, the most important part of a video game. So, hopefully they nail it. So, and by what we've seen so far, it seems the combat is really fun. So anyway, next up, world bosses. In addition to these small enemies, there are also a handful of enormous world bosses that I had to contend with. These are near Shadow Claws and Escus in their scale, with one of them in particular gets a beast named Usura, as we've seen in the combat gameplay. Requiring Sonic to bait him into slamming the ground, then boost up its arm in order to reach the weak spots on its head. It's an ambitious boss battle far beyond anything I've seen in the Sonic series to date. It's also the part of the game that needs the most work. Far too often I'd fly off the boss's arm without knowing why, or I'd get to the time for some reason lack the momentum needed to actually reach the head. So it sounds like that, that part of the game still needs more work, from what it seems like, so, Anyway, continuing on. Sonic must hunt down and defeat these bosses in order to collect portal gears, which opens up portals to lead to bite-sized lunar stages. So the cyberspace leaks were true as well. Again, it's seemingly everything we've kind of learned through leaks end up being true. Done saw previous games, giving Frontiers a nice mix of both old and new. These classic levels each come with a handful optional, like being the level in a certain amount of time, collecting all the red rings, so red rings are back too, and so on, with each glow rewarding a full key, which I needed to unlock the coveted Chaos Stones. So the cyberspace levels are essentially the special stages, like in the, Genesis games. Okay, makes sense. Sonic Frontiers is an exciting new step for the series on uncharted territory, and based on my time with it, Sonic Team seems to have hit upon a winning formula. That's great to hear. There's certainly still work to be done before it's released during the holiday season. There's a lot of distracting pop-ins, a fair amount of bugs still left to be squashed, and the big boss fights could use some tweaking, but ultimately, my time with this early build answers the one question I had in my mind. Will Sonic's one-of-a-kind gameplay translate to an open world? The answer is a resounding abso-freaking-lutely. Well, I think that is all very assuring here, folks. That is really assuring. So I am very happy to hear that. So in terms seemingly the game is fun to play, and it does look like fun. It does. It really freaking does. So, okay, there's also some screenshots we need to go over as well. So here's this one where it's obviously nighttime and it looks absolutely gorgeous. It really does. So you can even see like the moon shine light on the water. Like it looks really pretty. It does. Next up we have this one where it's seemingly Sonic grinding on rails and seemingly grinding off of one of those towers that we've seen in the first gameplay showcase that we've seen. Next up we have this one where we also have this one where another grinding, and it seems to be where we actually get to see where they are actually, showing, like, turns out you could actually grind in midair. So it turns out. And next up we got this one. And we got this one right here, where it actually shows, Sonic actually just jumping off the air. It seems possibly based off of a tech, and you actually can see some crates in the background, from what it seems like. So, very interesting. And it seems like you could bounce off all those balloons, and I wonder what that green thing there is. Very interesting. Okay, we got two more. We got one more thing to really talk about briefly, real quick. And as you can see, there's Azura, in the gameplay, as you can see, and that's kind of what he means. Like, he has to jump up on top of him. So, anyway, back to the topic at hand. So this is the prologue. Basically, as Sonic Central revealed, it is a prologue to the actual game. So basically, what that is where it focuses on Knuckles, where it's seemingly not involving the Master Emerald 2. And here's I guess like a little clip from it, where obviously it was like a quick second tease, pretty much, without giving too much. I believe they're going to be showing the full prologue before the game releases at the end of the year. So, but yeah, this is a prologue to the game involving Knuckles and the Master Emerald. So how that approaches in the final game, we'll see. And that's pretty much everything that to cover today. So now that we've kind of seen the hands-on impressions, yeah, this definitely puts the game in a better light. And why didn't they show this first? This is what they should have done. They should have shown this first before showing the actual gameplay clips that we got. So, but hey, at least we kind of have better context of what's going on. Like, finally a story synopsis and all that. So it's going to be interesting to see if the leaks about the other characters that, other characters we know. So it seems Knuckles will be a faction too. So if you really think about it, if the leaks are true about multiple playable characters, so this could be for the first time in I believe 16 years that we would actually be able to play as like Tails and Amy in a full 3D game, let alone an open world Sonic game. So maybe the rumors about like Knuckles and Shadow being playable too, but we don't know if Shadow's in the game yet. But if the leaks are true, he'll be in here too. So, but time will tell, I guess. So what are your opinions on Sonic Frontiers now after reading the hands-on impressions? Are you more I guess satisfied with it, or are you still on the fence of that it needs another delay? Let me know down in the comment section below. I do think that if Sonic Team needs more time, they should delay it. Like, don't rush it out. So, like they have a history of, but hey, that's just me. So let me know down in the comment section below. If you like this video, hit the like button, helps out the show, and consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss any more content, and I will see you on the next video. Later.